Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Sindh Sudhar Sochoon program we are bringing you today, especially for the reason to explain that what we are actually trying to do. What is the reason behind why we have started Sindh Sudhar Sochoon? And for that reason, today me, Hasnain Sheikh, and our guest, actually our host too, Sain Adi Nawaz Memur Sahabjan, we both are presenting you, and we will be keep discussing about that. What was the reason that why we started Sindh Sudhar Sochoon? What we are trying to achieve? What we are focusing? So please welcome Ada. Thanks for coming and joining us. Please help us understand why we started Sindh Sudhar Sochoon.
Thanks, Ada Hasnain. Today we have deliberately decided to speak English because we want to talk frankly to each other and to our audience. And I feel that the audience that we are trying to reach is beyond the Sindhi speaking people. That is why we have chosen to record this in English. Why did we start this program at all?
Right.
There is a deep feeling in my heart, and I'm sure it is in your heart too, that Aam Insan, the common people of Pakistan, have not received the benefit that they expected to achieve within Pakistan. Everyone, Sindhi speaking people, Urdu speaking people, Punjabi speaking, Baloch speaking, Pashto speaking, and even Bengali speaking people who opted to come and live in Pakistan. They expected religious freedom and economic freedom, which will lead to better quality of spiritual and material life. For our program, let us leave out the spiritual part. Let us first talk about the economic life. The main reason that Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah fought and got Pakistan was to ensure that Muslims will receive equal opportunity. He, the Qaid-e-Azam, was afraid that under Hindu majority in India, Muslim minorities will just not receive fair economic opportunities. But then what has happened? We ended up dividing Muslims in majority and minority. Majority of Muslims were Bengalis, and for various reasons known to ourselves and our audience, Bengalis decided that they were not receiving the benefits that they deserved, and they basically opted out of Pakistan. Now comes the West Pakistan. Again, we ended up with majority within West Pakistan. And the results have been that while a good part of the population has done very well and are very happy with the setup in Pakistan. And who are these? With all due respect, I will say all rich people are generally happy. All politicians are pretty happy. The armed forces are happy. The bureaucrats, they are doing pretty well. Who is left out? It is the common people, Aam Insan, who has been left out.
So here, so you are saying the Sindh Sudhar Sochoon program is for the Aam Insan, the person who is left out. Means it's not the
Yes.
part of the rich group, it's not the part of bureaucrats or any other armed forces, but it's a person who is suffering.
Yes.
And doesn't matter it's a Sindhi, Muhajir, Punjabi, Pathan, Pashto, or even religious wise, Hindu, Muslim, Isai, or anybody.
Yes.
But anybody who is poor. Why we picked Sindh then?
Reason we picked Sindh is because that is the region we knew best. Now, I must share with our audience that my heart is not only Sindhi. My heart is heart of an ordinary human being. I love humanity, and I have tried to do in my little life whatever I can for the little, for the common person. Then I started as being a Pakistani. I have written a book called Pakistan, Islamic Nation in Crisis, in which I talk about agenda, how to improve life of every Pakistani. I have written a book called The Islamic Nation, Status and Future of Muslims in the New World Order, because my heart is also Muslim, and I want to wish for welfare of Muslims everywhere in the world, not just in Pakistan or Sindh, but everywhere in the world. I am also an American citizen, and my heart wishes all the best for American people. I am generally very impressed by the ordinary American person. They are, my own life experience shows me, starting from the day I came to United States in December 1960, I have the experience which shows that ordinary American person is very kind and very generous and very helpful, and I am thankful to my God, my father and family, and American people for where I am now. So I am a human being. I am a Muslim. I am an American. I am Pakistani. I am a Sindhi. So as you asked, why did we start to focus on Sindhi Aam Insan? Because I originated from Sindh. I have first-hand experience of how the Aam Insan in Sindh has suffered and is continuing to suffer. Not only that, there is economic data that increasing number of people, of Sindhi-speaking people, are falling in that category. Hari, who was pretty much self-sufficient within the village before partition, is no longer self-sufficient. He does not have enough grain to feed his family. He does not have clean water. He does not have any better medical facilities than he had even before Pakistan. Law and order situation is worse. Justice system is worse. The landlord has become more cruel. The bureaucrat was honest. Policemen, tappedar, subedar, they all were much better people than they are today. So this is why I thought I will start by focusing on welfare of Sindhi people.
So this is what I'm understanding, that we are human beings. We are also Pakistani, me too, and Muslims and Sindhis. The reason we started in Sindhi, because in Pakistan, if we look, the different provinces are different speaking groups. Sindh is the in a worse situation, falling in education and health situation, and also because our mother tongue is Sindhi, so we think that we should start from our home and then communicate our message
Yes.
to tell people, give them a visibility that how good even in America the people are.
Yes.
Insan here
Yes.
in America,
Yes.
they are, how they are helping, how the governance is being done, how the people are fighting for their rights, and these are the Insan who is standing up for their rights. That's why they are getting.
Yes.
Otherwise, I have the same feeling I have seen here. Here, Khandani Riyasat Siyasat.
Yes.
We see the same politicians. We saw that George W. Bush and his father, and then his son and second son, are coming for the presidency. Clinton and his wife, and most probably the Clinton's daughters will be coming in future. So, Morisi Siyasat are traditional, that family politics. It goes here too.
Yes.
But the key difference between here and back in Pakistan, and especially in Sindh, is Insan.
Yes.
So Insan here and there, both are different.
Yes.
America is different. Same corruption, same problems can occur here too. And we've been seeing people are getting caught, but politicians are forced not to do the corruptions. And if there's corrupt people, they're getting punished. So what message you will convey to Insan? Means politicians are doing wrong, our law and order situations are bad, the bureaucrats are taking advantage of all the situations. What do you think about the Insan? What they need to do?
Insan is backward for a number of reasons. Instead of looking at all the reasons which are holding back, let us look at how you and I, who were part of that group, because we come basically from middle class background, what has brought us to a degree of success. Of course, as Muslim, I deeply believe that support of God has been the most critical element, and this I have explained in number of other programs, including personal videos, where I have shown how I came through. God's grace was always there, and God's grace is frequently talked about in America also, in Europe also. They are not godless people. They are very God-fearing and God-aware people. But after God's grace, what else has pulled us up? Number one is education. There was an element of quality education that I, who has studied at Maimun Mohalla Elementary School in Shikarpur, Dadi Mohalla Primary School in Ladkana, Government High School Ladkana, and DJ Science College Karachi, that I, a product of those all government owned schools, provided me with enough education to come to United States after passing inter science and be able to complete my education and get a reasonably good job and alhamdulillah have reasonable success, that I am where I am. And you have gone through the same
Yeah,
government institutions.
that's right.
And alhamdulillah, you are where you are, quite successful in your field. But now what we see, that a government education, which is only affordable means of education, it is not of the caliber and quality to raise up a significant number of people to reach where you and I have, alhamdulillah, reached. Of course, there can be always a few, maybe 1%, maybe 2% who are coming out and doing reasonably well. But 98 to 99% of the product of public government owned schools are left behind. So that has gone worse. You and I were able to live. You lived in Rohri. I lived in Shikarpur and Ladkana. We lived under law and order situation, so that we did not have to worry about being robbed every day. And this enabled us to do the studying that we did. So law and order situation has gone worse. Public servant, government servants, the bureaucrats, they were never as dishonest as they are today. The politician was never as corrupt, especially in Sindh, as they are today. So what is happening is that we felt, you and I, and people who think alike, that we have to do something to move these ordinary people, the 98 to 99% of people, move them out of that blockade, economic blockade, legal blockade, educational blockade that these ordinary people are living under. So this is why we felt that we have to do something. And of course, on individual level, you, I, and millions of others are helping, and have always tried to help individual family members, and beyond that we can. But still, a vast majority are still not touched.
So, a few points from your answers, which
Yes.
I have collected. One thing is, you are actually saying that we want to bring Am Insan, the way we see, maybe whatever the level we can succeed, to the level where we are.
Yes.
Are you saying that you want to bring every Sindhi, Muhajir, Punjabi who's Am Insan in trouble out of from that country and bring them here and make successful? Or you're saying that we should make Sindh, Pakistan better place where we make Pakistan like America?
Yes. It is the I strongly desire to have much larger percentage of people of Pakistan and all parts of Pakistan successful and viable. This means I want to raise their economic standard. Per capita income.
When you're saying I want, means you want to go back there and help them, or you are saying you are sharing your suggestions and ideas and trying to give those thoughts to so they can improve themselves.
I want to do whatever it takes, but I am also realistic that it is for various reasons that may not be the optimum way to help ordinary people of Pakistan. My presence, I do not think, is required at this stage of my life. But yes, if needs for you or me to go to Pakistan 5 times a year, so be it. We are ready. So, coming back to the original question, we thought let us focus on insan of Sindh. But I must confess, as I have mentioned before also, my heart weeps for Am Insan of Balochistan, who in many ways is in worse situation than even in Sindh. My heart weeps for Pathan brothers and sisters who have suffered immensely, unbelievably, especially after 9/11, because there has been so much international and national violence in the whole province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. My heart weeps for poor people of Karachi as well. There are a lot of poor people among Urdu speaking people, among areas such as Liari, areas where all the poor Pakhtuns are living. So my heart bleeds for all of them. I feel now, Hasnain, that maybe we should broaden the message of Sindh Sudhar Sochoon from Washington. I think time may have come or will come so that to really achieve our objectives, we must broaden our message. And
So
how do we do that? What do you think? What should we do?
before I tell you what I think,
Yes.
my question is why we want to broad. That's then what I'm getting, that you want to convey the message of broader community, make it betterment, and you think that it's gonna actually help a lot of people. Are we successfully already done with Sindhi peoples? We started because we are human, we are Pakistani, we are Sindhi,
Yes.
and we are Muslims, and we want to start clean up from our home, from room, so
Yes.
of our neighbors, relatives, and now we try to communicate through Sindh Sudhar Sochoon, Sahara Foundation, and we are trying our different efforts, which whatever we
Yes.
can. Do you think we are already done with Sindhi communication to convey them a message that what we wanted to do, so we want to broader to the bigger group now?
No. We have achieved almost nothing, to be honest. We have reached fair number of people. We have conveyed the message, and I believe it is resonating with many people. So the question is, do we wait until our objectives especially the economic objectives for common people in Sindh are fully achieved or even largely achieved? Should we wait until then and then talk about other community? Or should we broaden our message? We are just thinking out loud.
Okay.
In my view, I think we should continue our efforts to focus on welfare of Sindhi speaking people, the deprived ones. But at the same time, we have to, number one, remove the misconception of non-Sindhi people who must be thinking that we are narrow-minded Sindhis and we are simply trying to help our people. These Sindhi, the non-Sindhis people, may be thinking that we are their enemies. And I want to make sure, want to make it clear that far from it. I also want to give message to non-Muslims that it is not just the Sindhi Muslims that we are focusing on. Frankly, my message, and I believe our message, is largely economic message, largely governance message, governance for betterment of common people. So I also want to assure non-Muslim people living in Sindh and all over Pakistan, I want to convey to them that my heart weeps for them also. To give you an example, I am deeply hurt by the way we, the Sindhi Muslims, have been harming Sindhi Hindus. There are widespread charges that it is the Sindhi Muslims who are kidnapping or at least unfairly enticing Sindhi girls, converting them, we are kidnapping Hindu girls. We are enticing them to become Muslims. Our community is illegally occupying mandirs or property owned by mandirs. We are illegally taking away the lands of Sindhi Hindus where they have been cremating their bodies. It is our community largely within Sindh, even though there may be non-Sindhis involved in this heinous crimes too, but those who are kidnapping Hindu businessmen, with the result that a very large-scale migration of Sindhi Hindus is taking place. I want to assure them that our heart is weeping for them too. We want to protect them. We also want to protect both Sunni and Shia. We also want to protect Christian minorities. There are frequent news how Christians are being mistreated, not so much in Sindh, but in Punjab and in other parts of Pakistan. So I want to focus on all those who are being left out.
So, the Sindhi Muslim who is hurting or mistreating Sindhi Hindus, is it a fault of Sindhi Muslim or is it fault of law and order situation? Because there may be a person who want to acquire a land. He's acquiring a land because he's a Sindhi Muslim, or he's acquiring a land because there is no law and order situation properly done.
Good
So,
question.
so we are not actually saying that this is a fault of Sindhi Muslims and that's what they are doing. There is a law and order situation which is creating loopholes and people are taking advantage of that. So our program, I just want to reiterate that it doesn't matter. It's a Sindhi, Muhajir, Hindu, Muslim. We help Sindhi Muslim as much as we help Sindhi Hindu. Same way we help even a Punjabi, a Pashtun and Pathan. The reason I was looking at, I'm coming back to your question which you asked that should we broaden or not. I already told Adali Nawaz that if he moves out of Sindhi language, I will not support him. The reason behind, what's the reason is, I think I have to clean up my home first. If I am not able to clean my home, I'm not fulfilling my responsibility, I should not go and clean my mohalla, or look for my city, or look for province and country. Okay, if I want to clean up, if I was born in Punjab, I would have done in Punjabi. If I was born in Karachi or in Urdu speaking family, I would have done the same program in Urdu. So it's not that I'm trying to save a Sindhi culture. I'm not helping because of that. I see a Sindhi person as more Muslim as compared to a Punjabi and Muhajir, even for Baloch. It means that I see them, at least they have an aggression, they take their guns and they fight. Or Sindhi Hari don't even have a courage for that. For food they are suffering, the living conditions are worse, the education is on worse condition. Recently actually I saw in Sana function of the Muhammad Ali Maher's presentation, and also we actually discussed about this too.
Yes.
We were a lot better Sindhis. Sindhi was a better educated, mannered, and health-wise from 4 or 5 decades ago as compared to where we are right now. What do you think? Why we are actually not only we are not sustaining where we were, we are actually downgrading as compared to the other provinces.
Yes. I think the reason is obvious. And the reason is that while there is corruption in all parts of Pakistan, I'm talking about illegal money that is in all parts of Pakistan and in practically all parts of the world. But the degree to which Sindhi society has degenerated is much worse than in my lifetime, having worked in about 40 different countries as part of World Bank and then as independent consultant. What I have seen is in comparing to Africa, Asia, Caribbean, Latin America, we have become worse. And our Sindhi community has become worse than many, many other places. In Pakistan, a Punjabi politician, whether it is Muslim League or whether it is Tehreek-e-Insaf now ruling in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, their object, while they may be stealing a percentage of whatever funds they can lay hands on, in Sindh it is far, far greater. And referring back to Sindhi Muslims versus Sindhi Hindu, I agree with you that it is the whole environment, but also there is degree of religious extremism that has spread all over Pakistan and particularly in Sindh. While you and I both are Sunnis by birth, but we never hated or disliked Shias. We got along well with Christians and Hindus and Shias. But now the degree And of course, it is also not only the religious extremism, but also the fact that India and Pakistan have not been able to solve their problems, which has sort of accentuated, further worsened the sort of anti-feeling for Hindus in Pakistan. Whatever the reason, the fact is that there are more Hindus in Sindh than there are in other parts of Pakistan. There are now so many madrasas in Sindh that somehow we are, if you look at newspaper reports and statistics, what we are doing to Hindu population in Sindh is somehow very, very harmful. It below human behavior, what we are doing. So I want to convey a message. I want to broaden the message of our program to tell these religious minorities, linguistic difference group that we have in all Pakistan. I will love to see solutions in Pakistan so that, okay, we have Urdu as national language, but we must open our eyes to the facts that we lost East Pakistan primarily because mentally we refuse to accept Bengalis as equal human being, Bengali language as a equally good language for their own people with vast amount of literature and history and all kinds of progress. So I wish that even now the government of Pakistan will come to senses that look, in today's Pakistan, Punjabi is a very vibrant regional language. Sindhi is a very vibrant language of Pakistan. That Pashto is a very strong and established language. And Balochi are very strong languages. We must recognize these languages as regional languages of Pakistan. I believe India has 17 national languages, including Sindhi. But Pakistan, we are afraid that somehow we will come to some end if we recognized 4 or 5 other languages as also regional languages of Pakistan. I must share with my audience that one of the most developed countries in the world, namely Switzerland, has 4 languages as national languages of Switzerland. So if that problem is solved, and if everybody relaxes about their own language, about their cultural heritage, I think the overall tension in Pakistan will be reduced. And if this could have been made, this decision could have made before 70s, then East Pakistan will not be gone. So this is part of our national tension, which is causing people to behave in very different and unusual way. So now the question is really thinking about Sindh Sudhar Sochoon. Where do we go from here? Hasnain, what do you think?
I'm still on my opinion that I'm actually doing this program especially just to help the community, our friends, and those who are asking questions that what we are trying to do in Sindhi. So I still think we need to convey message in Sindhi to those poor people to make them stand up for their own rights, not for the fight, but just to receive the rights and try to struggle, bring the vote to the right politicians and bring the good politicians up front so who can help them and they can make it better. When we feel that really we have a tone, we have the material, we have the communication skills that we are communicating, then we should broaden up. If we think we are not successful yet, then we should be keep trying in Sindhi. But I will support you if you think that we should convey a message in Urdu and English. Then maybe 10% I will help you. But
Yes.
I would still think that we should continue in Sindhi language. So before conclusion, do you want to convey any message?
Well, I want to add one thing that I feel that communicating only in Sindhi, the experience of Sindh Sudhar Sochoon from Washington up to now is that Sindhi community has not been able to mobilize enough. We have been in every program, we have been encouraging them to hold politicians accountable, hold businessmen, hold journalists, hold civil servants accountable, so that they are not actually harming the cause of Sindhi people. But I feel that for Sindhis to succeed, they are going to need support of common people in Karachi, in Lahore, in Quetta, in Peshawar also. So we have to somehow mobilize that support also. We have to bare our heart to everyone and say, look, we need everybody's help. In India, Aam Aadmi Party has been gaining something, especially in the capital, because all linguistic groups, all religious groups of India live in Delhi. And this thought of focus on needs of Aam Insan, Aam Aadmi, has motivated the whole community to vote for Aam Aadmi Party twice in 2 general elections. After first election, they won, but they did not know how to govern, and they lost their government within very short period. But in the second period, which is ongoing period, while 100% objectives have not been achieved, a lot of progress is being made, and I am confident that Aam Aadmi, if united, regardless of their religion, regardless of their language, if they unite in India, they are going to have a significant impact. And I feel that if we have the non-Sindhi people with us also, if all the Aam Aadmi or all insan of Pakistan unite, then there is a greater chance of success. So I intend to, inshallah, continue to work with you and others to improve the lot of the Aam Insan in Sindh. But I request you that let us in parallel keep focusing on all insan also. And I hope and pray that other like-minded people in all parts of Pakistan will join our hands to improve common lot, common welfare of people everywhere in Pakistan.
So, thank you very much, Sai. Sindhi dosto and my Pakistani friends. So, if I'm concluding my concluding sort of thoughts and discussion, the Sindh Sudhar Sochoon mainly is our target viewer is the person who is helpless, who is suffering, who it doesn't matter he's Sindhi, Punjabi, Mohajer, Pashtun, or Urdu speaking, or any other language, or from any religion. But what we are looking, we are trying to make the betterment in the area where Pakistan is one of the worst countries in the world. We are in one of the best country in the world. And the key difference we see is the people. The people who stand up for their rights. So we are trying to make awareness. Now because we are Sindhi, our mother tongue is Sindhi language, that's the reason we started in Sindhi program. And we also see Sindhi people are the one which are falling a lot behind. We need to bring them equal to at least Punjabis and Mohajer. It's been just few months. That's how we have started this program. We see actually we are getting pretty good responses and comments, but we don't see any momentum. And if I have to work for 10 more years, whatever the life is left, I would still keep trying in Sindhi. Still we are leaving on you. Give us a feedback. Tell us whether we should continue in Sindhi. Should we go to Urdu language or should we continue in English? Not continue means to start in English language. If we are starting in English, the good thing's going to be the whole Pakistan can understand what we are talking about. And we will be helping all the poor people and trying to at least tell them the ways how they can make a better standard of their life or enhance their education. The key thing which is different between us and other provinces and even actually other countries is I see as education. Education when it comes, it's start making your brain more sharp and understanding and see the things in a different angle. So inshallah we will continue. We will continue in Sindhi, but if we get your response that we should continue in Urdu or English, then we will change and try to run parallel both programs, and we will wait for your response. Asanki Jazabdio, and thank you very much for watching this program. Ali Nawaz, who is the host, guest, and founder of Sindh Sudhar Sochoon program, and Hassan Sheikh, who is just his host. Thank you for that.